It's your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That's something brand new called, how do you say that, Chris? Avantasia?
Avantasia.
There you go. And that features the lead singer of the band Ed Guy, our good friend Toby Sammet. And he's out there promoting this new project. And he's, believe it or not, Chris, we've got a true rock superstar on the phone with us. We've got Toby himself. Welcome to the Classic Metal Show there, Toby.
Hello, good evening, everybody, and buy my album. You said I'm on a promotion trip, you know,
right.
So I have to say that.
End of interview. What should we play on our way out of the interview there, Toby? Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. Have a great evening and just buy the album. Yeah, I shouldn't forget to swear because it's like an uncensored show and I can say fucking shit on the air.
Right.
I've just been told that. Fuck, shit. I'm Tourette Toby. So what was your question?
Well, we didn't ask
there wasn't a question yet, was it?
Dude. Well, Toby, obviously Avantasia, it's very different from Ed Guy in a lot of ways, you know, a lot more, I guess, artsy to reach for a word, but what makes you, as a pretty accomplished artist with Ed Guy, what makes you go out and do something outside of the Ed Guy band?
Oh, well, what is the motivation of a musician to release an album? It's just, we have the bad habit. Musicians belong to the species. Having the bad habit that they really, really love to eat, and you have to make money, and no, seriously, it was just I just had done that project like 2 years ago, no, not 2 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years, 8 years ago, and it was back then. It was a dream for me to just do something conceptual with guest musicians. You know, whenever I was not able to sing something, or whenever I had a vocal line where I thought that vocal line could be perfect for someone like Michael Kiske or whatever, Bob Catley, I said, like, great, then let's get him doing it. And it was just dreaming to record an album with idols and so-called heavy metal family members, and that was just a dream. And I didn't have any target. I just wanted to record the biggest album in rock history, but that was just not so important. It was I just wanted to do something big, and I did it back then, and it was very successful. And now we've done so much with that guy, and I really loved being on the road with that guy and recording albums with that guy. But it's just everything that you do, that gives you the chance to break out of the day-to-day routine for a little while, if you call it that.
Okay.
Is supportive, and it boosts your career and your whole creativity and your ego.
Very nice. Well, the one thing that I notice about the new album, The Scarecrow, Toby, is the songs are very epic. Everything has huge build-ups, and the songs are long, but it sounds like you really spent a lot of time on the orchestration of the music as well as, the vocal stuff. Is that the way it was?
Well, it wasn't, basically arranging the basics. Yes, you're right. But then, the big advantage I'm doing an interview with America, big advantage was this time that I could, the budget was better. Back then, I had this, like I said, the first Avantasia album I did, I had to really, I had to keep an eye on the expenses, really, and this time I have so much more connections. I know so many more people and specialists, freaks, like, for example, Miro, in this case, who was responsible. He did the keyboards for Camelot, for example, as well. And he's a specialist. He did the orchestra scores for Ed Guy's Hellfire Club album, and so it was just, he is very, very dedicated to huge and epic keyboard moments and orchestrational moments. And it's really funny because I was just getting a text from Eric the other day, and he said, like, oh, I'm listening to the album right now. It's very bombastic. It reminds me of Meatloaf and Queen, and it's really big. It was funny because I thought he had heard the material before because he was playing on it. It read like, somebody was texting me who didn't have any idea what the material would sound like in the end, but he has played it in the first place. So, but it's absolutely right. I love Queen, I love Meatloaf, and I love those kinds of bands. I also love metal, and I think this is a very, very good mixture of the different kinds of styles.
Well, Toby, you mentioned working with a lot of people. Who's all guests on this new CD?
You want me to name all of them?
Well, the people that most commonly would be known out there. Who did you get to be a part of your disc?
Well, the core of the band that played all the basics like drums, bass, and most of the guitars is me on bass and Eric Singer on drums and Sasha Pad, who's also the producer, on guitars. And then we have some special guests on guitars like Henjo Richter from Gamma Ray, who played as well on the first 2 Avantasia records. He plays a lot of lead guitars, additional ones. Then we have Rudolf Schenker of the Scorpions playing some lead guitars. Kai Hansen from Gamma Ray as well, playing some lead guitars. And we have a real, a lot of guest singers as well. I mean, singers singing the different roles of the concept. I mean, it's, who do we have? I have to, I just turned 30 and, gone is all the memory. It starts very early. I'm doing the Ozzy Osbourne thing right now. Okay, well, let me take a look at the album. We have Bob Catley, Alice Cooper, Oliver Hartman, Roy Kahn from Camelot, Michael Kiske from Ex Halloween, Jorn Lande, Amanda Somerville, who was singing on the Ina project, and I think that's it.
Well, isn't that
That's
enough?
Not too bad, is it?
Isn't that enough? It's not.
Oh, well, it could have been more, but, it was... No, seriously. It was never... Sometimes, I think the record company really... Or record companies in general really promote that kind of stuff as an all-star, super-duper, artsy-fartsy, whatever, the biggest piece of music in the history of rock, which is not so wrong, but... it's... No, seriously. The record company usually promotes it as an all-star project, and sometimes it's people who are not involved in the work. They just want to read a big list of big names, and it's funny, how some outside people think in terms of importance. Like, oh, he's more important. We should advertise him, and he's more important, and blah blah blah. It's to me, the most important thing is that everybody who was involved really fits the music and suits the music very, very well. And the most important thing, whatever you do, is never the names. I'm very, very thankful they are on the record. Hey, I worked with Alice Cooper. I mean, at least he's on my album. We didn't work together, but he is on there, which is a big honor for me. But still, it's not just the name Alice Cooper. It's just, you have heard the track probably. It's really, really good, and that's the most important thing. The song is good. He suits the song very well, and that's the most important thing.
Well, if this is truly an all-star project, where do you fit in there?
Well, I'm a facility manager of the studio.
We're just kidding with you, Toby. Well,
I know.
Toby, I got to ask you something. Over in Europe, anyway, at least from what I noticed, there seems to be a big following for this style of epic kind of music, kind of like a Nightwish, Camelot, Stradivarius, big epic keyboards and organs and lots of instruments integrated into what we would consider metal. What is the interest over there in Europe in that? Because you don't really find that in the U.S. at all.
Well, it's really hard to say. I'd still like to think, except from Nightwish, the bands you mentioned still belong to classic. I don't want to say heavy metal underground, because underground is really big in Europe. It's not, we can draw like 2,000 or 3,000 people a night whenever we play a show, which is not totally underground, but still, it's not that it happens on TV. It's funny. Everybody